Hi guys, welcome to another Divi theme video. This is Jamie from System22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. Well, we got a great one for you today. We've got a little cart button on the side there. It's floating, so it'll stay where it is when people go up and down the site there. And when they click on it, they can instantly check out their cart. And they can go in there, they can delete stuff, and do all the normal things you can do with a cart there. Really easy to do. So let's get started. I'm going to enable the Visual Builder. I'm going to quickly undo everything I've done here. Okay, we're back where we started now. First thing I want to do is create the section that we want to pop up, which is the cart. To do that, I'm going to add a new section, little blue button here. It doesn't matter where you put it because it's going to be invisible once we save. I'm going to use a regular section. Inside that section, I'm going to use a single column. Let's just slide down to the bottom here. These modules all come as standard with Divi. At the bottom, you'll find one called Woo Modules. Now, if you haven't got WooCommerce installed and products, you probably won't see that there. So if it's not there, you probably haven't got WooCommerce installed. For mine today, I'm going to use a WooCart Products module right there. And there it is. And it's popped it in there. Go ahead and decorate it however you want. Remember, this is the thing that we're going to have pop up. The reason it's got stuff in there is I've got stuff in my cart, obviously, already. So under content, we've got the elements you want to show. Product image, that's fine. Don't want to show coupon code. I've got no coupons. So I can unshow that one. We'll show update cart button. It's right there. And remove item icon, which is right there. So I'll leave those just like there. Background. Let's just keep this simple. I'm going to leave it purple background so it stands out. I don't have to make that text a light so it stands out as well. So I'm just going to go over to my design. In the layout, you can choose different layouts. I'm going to stick to the default. You can have a horizontal or a vertical layout if you prefer. Well, I'm going to leave mine on the default. That works for me in this situation. Okay, table headers. Go in there. I'm going to leave the background color as it is and the font as it is. All I really want to do is change that color. Let's capitalize it for a bit of fun. Great. Body text, I want to make that white too so it stands out. Again, I'm going to leave it on the defaults. The tables are a whole table here. I don't want to do anything with that really. We've got table row. And again, that'll affect all our rows here. I don't want to do anything with that. The cells there. We can have alternating background colors for our cells, which is quite nice. For instance, if I make one black and then the alternating color white, but you can go in and click on the color and have some of it bleeding through. If I take these down to about 50% here, I'll do the same with the black there. It gives it sort of different coloured purpley stripes there. I'm going to leave mine just like that. Great. Okay, well, let's go down to padding. In spacing just down here. I'm going to give it 30 pixels all around padding. Just put in the 30, it'll put in the pixels for you. And we'll do the same for left and right. That's great. I'm going to leave mine just like that. Let's save our changes here. As this section is going to be the section that we're popping up, I'm going to give it a dark background. So I'm going to go into the section. I'm going to go into the background, always under content. I'm going to make it black. And again, I'm going to take the opacity down so we can see a hint of the website behind. I want it fairly dark. Something like that will work absolutely perfectly. Fantastic. Okay, well, let's now make the button that we actually want to pop up, or the icon. I'm using an icon. You can use any module button or anything you want to do this. Now, as we're going to be using fixed positioning for this, we can put this pretty much anywhere we want. Plus, I'm going to save these to my library in a minute and build them into a global footer so they're on every page. So make sure you don't do it in the section that we just built there. You can put a new row anywhere you want. Little green button to add a new row. I'm going to use a single column in my row again. Like I say, you can use a button, you can use any module you want. I'm just going to use an icon for mine today. We'll use a shopping cart icon. There's the icon. Let's find a cart icon. Choose whichever one works for you. There it is, fantastic. And we're not going to put a link in. I'll be doing that all in a moment. Don't want a background, but I am going to change that white. When I change that white, you'll see it disappear because it's white on a white background there. So if I go into the icon under the design tab there, I'm going to turn it white. I'm going to make mine about 50 pics. And I'll show it so you can see it now. What I'm going to do is just save my little icon there. I'm going to go into the row we created to put it in. And I'm going to give our row a little coloured background. Still under content in the row. Background. Let's perhaps make it purple. There, we can see our little icon there. Again, I'm going to take the opacity down because this is going to end up on one side of our little website here. Now, while we're in this row, I'm going to give it a fixed width and a height and make it into a circle. So while we're in here, in the row, I'm going to go to Design. I'm going to go to Sizing. Let's say make it, I can't remember what I used before. I think it's sort of 80 pixels. Put in 80 and px, because if you don't put the px in here, it might put in percent. Width, that looks about right to me. Let's copy that, Control C, and I'll do the same for the height. Control V to paste. That's okay. We've got to change the spacing so that's in the middle there. So let's close up sizing, and we'll go into spacing just below. Padding top, let's give it 0 and see what happens. Jumped up the top there. Let's try giving it, say, 20. A little bit too much. About 10. Probably not quite enough. We can increment up and down with these little arrows here. Get it to where you feel it's fairly central there. Something like that works for me. Well, I want mine to be round, more like a little button. We can do that just below in border. Make sure the change check there and give it a real high pixel value like 50. You can see we got a nice little circle there. And just to cap it off, when it's over perhaps a purple section, if we've got a purple section, let's give it a little white border around there to make it stand out even a bit more. So we've got border styles here. I'll click the one that says all 4 sides there. I'm going to give it, say, 2 pixels. Like I say, you won't notice it. It's black there so you can see it. That's great. But I'm actually going to turn it white so it'll disappear. I'm going to make the colour white. Okay, let's put it in fixed position where we actually want it now. Still in the row, remember, not in the actual icon module itself. Go over to Advanced. I'm going to go down to Position. I'm going to change it from Relative to Fixed. And when I do that, it's going to disappear. Great. Well, it's up under our little bar at the top there. You can just see the bottom of it. We've got a little grid here, or a matrix, where you can put it middle, left, right, however you want. For instance, if I click there, that's probably where I'm going to have mine. It'll be there. Down the bottom will be down the bottom. And you can adjust it with vertical and horizontal offset if you want to. So I'm going to put mine in the middle here. I want it out from the side just a little bit. So horizontal offset, going to increment up to about 3 pixels right there. Let's just roll up and down the side. Make sure it's not going to disappear. It's disappeared behind that section there. Did you see it disappear? Right there. That means this has got a lower Z index than our section below there that's disappearing. If that happens, roll it down till you can't see it. Just below the horizontal offset, we've got Z index here. If we roll this to the right, make the number higher, it should appear. There it is right there. The way Z index works, an element with a higher Z index will always appear on an element with a lower index. So we got 48 here. Anything higher than 48 is going to be on top of this element. Anything below 48, this element will be on top of. Let's roll it all down the side, make sure it's not going to get lost anywhere else. That's great. And that's great all the way to the top there. So we've got our button and we've got the bit that we want to actually pop up. How are we going to make this work? Really easy. Let's save what we've got going on here. The section that we've got our little cart module in here, I'm going to save it to my library. I'm going to go up there. I'm going to hit the little round module to save to the library. We'll give it a name. Just going to call it cart section and save it to my library. Once I've done that, I can delete it. I want to do the same with this row that we built here. The green tab for the row. Going to go with the little icon there, just left of the bin again. And let's say floating cart. Call yours whatever you want. And I'm going to save that row to my library. Great. Well, now we've done that, we can delete this as well. The reason I'm deleting this, I'm going to build this into a custom footer so I can have it on every single page. Now, if you just want it on this page, you don't need to delete it like I've done here. To do this today, make it happen, I'm going to be using a script from elegantthemes.com. And I'll put this link down below the video. If you go to this page, roll halfway down the page, you'll see a bit of CSS down here. Copy it from where it says body there, all the way down to the last curly bracket there. Control C to copy. Go back to your Divi theme here. Dashboard, go down to Divi theme options. Under the general tab, roll down to the bottom. And you'll see the custom CSS panel. I've already got that in there. Let's get rid of it. You won't have it in there. If you've got something in there, just put your cursor there and scoot it down. But this is where you place it. Control V to paste. Make sure you hit your save changes. Once you've got the green check mark, let's go back to the Elegant Themes page here. And if I roll down just a little bit more, we've got a bit of script right here. Take it from the opening script tag to the closing script tag there. Control C to copy. Going to go back to our site. This time we're going to roll up to the top. We're going to go over to the integration tab. Add the code to the header blog. Again, I've already got mine in there. Let's pretend I haven't. Let's delete that and put it in there. And again, if you do have something in there, just put your cursor at the top, scoot whatever's in there down, or paste this underneath whatever in there. So I'm going to paste that in there. And again, you want to make sure you hit the Save Changes button until you get that little green check mark right there. Great. Well, let's go back to this page we had here. We can save our changes and exit the Visual Builder now. And to make this happen on all pages, to have this floating icon on all pages, I'm going to build it into a footer. Here's the default footer you get with the Divi theme. We're going to replace this with a custom one, really easy to do. Again, go down to your dashboard. This time we're going to go down to Theme Builder right here. Once at the Theme Builder, I'm going to add a global footer. Build global footer. I'm going to keep this very simple today, just so we can demonstrate the floating cart icon, so you can make your footer have anything you want in it. I'm going to add a little row to mine right here. All I'm going to do is put an icon in mine and show you how to make this work on all pages. I'm going to use something like this with an icon on the left hand side. For my icon, I'm just going to use an image module. There's my little icon there. Fantastic. Of course, you'd want to link it to the URL of your site, take them back to the home page when they click on it. Design-wise, I just want to make sure it's in the middle of my column there. So it'll be centered on mobile. I'm going to leave that just like that. Put a color behind our little section here. I'm going to go into the section. Blue tab for the section. Background. I'm going to put a simple color in. Don't want quite black, but I want close. I'll use my 24, 24, 24. That works for me. Fantastic. While we're in the section, I'm going to take away any padding top and bottom because I really don't want too much there. So over to design, down to spacing. I'm going to put a 0 in where it says padding top there. Just put the 0 in, it'll put the picks in. Hit the chain, it'll do the bottom also. Fantastic. Great, well let's go back into the row and shave a little bit more off. It's still a bit too deep. Green tab for the row. Same thing, I'm going to go to design and spacing. Let's try 10 pixels. That looks about right, and hit the chain. Okay. Well, now let's add the fields that we just created. First one we're going to add is a section, and that was the actual pop-up cart. So let's hit the little blue button to add a new section. I'm going to add it from library, where we saved it to our library. And there it is, and there's my earlier one there also. Let's pop that in. Use this section. There it is right there, fantastic. And let's add another little row for that row we saved, which is our floating cart. Now make sure you don't add it to this section, because this section is going to disappear when we save this page. So add it to your section above. So the initial section, go in there, hit the little green button. I'm going to add this from library. There's our floating cart. I'm going to use this row. Excellent, it's popped it in right there, fantastic. Now, of course, you can decorate your footer however you want. I'd obviously put in a lot more info than that on mine, but I'm going to keep this simple just so we're showing this for each page. Once you've got both of those in there, we need to go back to our elegant themes here. If we roll back up above the CSS here, it's going to tell us to make this pop up, we need to give our button, or our cart icon in this case, the class of ETLB button 1. And if you want to do more than one pop-up, you can increment this number on the end, and at the bottom of the page there, it tells you how to do all that if you need to do it. Really useful. And we've done plenty of videos on that. Okay, so I've got that class thing. Let's copy that, Control C. We need to give that to our little icon. Let's go back to our theme builder. Here's our icon. We can either do it on the icon itself or on the row that it's in. That'll work for me. So in the row that the icon's sitting in there, going to go to Advanced CSS IDs and Classes on the top there. Make sure you put it in class and not ID. Great. Now that's going to tell this button to click up this section when we give it a different class name. Once you put in there, save. We'll go back. And if we roll up the section that we want to pop up, which is our little cart contents there, needs to have a class name of ETLB content 1. And again, increment the number if you've got more than one on there. Control C to copy. Go back to our theme builder here. This time we're going to go into this cart section. Remember, we put this whole section as our little cart module here. Blue tab for the section. Advanced CSS IDs and classes again. Remember to put it in the class name, not the ID. We'll save that. Great. And we should be good to go. We'll hit the little purple button to save our changes here. We'll X out. Make sure everything's saved on this page by hitting the green button up there. Once we've got our changes saved, go to women's fashion. Back up to the top. And if I refresh now, we've got our little cart item there. If I click on it, it's going to pop that out into a little light box. We've got a little closing thing right there. Let's add another item. Let's just add that to the cart perhaps. And we'll take another look now. There's what we just added. And you can go in, you can get rid of stuff. And that's a great little feature. If we go to a different page, go to the men's fashion, just a generic category page, you'll see this cart's on there as well. And we got that little footer down the bottom. So any page you go to, including your cart page, is going to have that little icon on it. And we'll show you how to custom style your cart page in another video. So let's go back. So there you have it, guys. There's how to add a floating cart button to your e-commerce site with a Divi theme. I hope you've enjoyed this today and found it useful. If you have, please give it a thumbs up, ring the bell, comment, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Once again, this has been Jamie. Don't forget, if you have any questions, pop them below the video and I'll do my best to answer them for you, or make a little demo video like this one. Once again, this has been Jamie from System22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.